Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're gonna get back into this flow. We just finished animating this nice little select input. I went through how to do that. I also went through a bit as to how I built it. If you look inside the frames, the reason why I did certain things when it came to just shrinking the frame, but also just structuring the content inside really helps create such a great little interaction, especially when you see the arrow moving. This isn't featured in some of the other select frames. You don't see an options version here, and that's fine because you can either have it, but either way it's going to be hidden, and you just kind of want your pop-up to appear nicely. So we have a kind of a dissolve effect on that. Okay, so let's move into the radio button. So what I want to happen here is I actually don't want a button like this at all. We're gonna get rid of it. I just want to be able to click on this button and move it to the next page. So we're gonna keep it really simple. So I'm gonna delete these because we don't need them. We can still keep these buttons around because we'll need them for 1 or 2 more frames, but we're gonna go back into our assets. So we have this input, so we'll copy this over, and we'll copy this over. So we have a hover and an active state, or a finalized state. You can call it checked state too. So let's bring that over. We're going to copy this frame once again. So I'm just holding it and dragging it down. You can just do Command C, Command V. This is just kind of easier for the sake of the prototype. I'm going to bring these inputs in. And so when I hover over kitchen, we're going to get this nice little gray version. So let's remove that. That is named input. This is named input as well. Perfect. We're gonna duplicate that frame again. Beautiful. And we're gonna bring this input in. So let's drag it right into that auto layout frame. Perfect. And so the only thing I've done here is I've really just changed the fill color of this to like a darker gray, and then I changed the outline to an outside outline featuring this color that we've seen so much. So let's link that together. This is very self-explanatory. All we're going to do is on hover, we will select Smart Animate at 300. And then on click, we are going to do the exact same. So it's already set for us. And then we're going to select that same element and drag. We can scroll out at the same time. We are going to drag over here. And this is our next screen. Yes, not our final screen, but our next screen. And we will use the push out again. So if you notice, I'm using a lot of the same animation timings, a lot of the same interaction types, or the animation types, whether it's just Smart Animate or whether it's like pushing, just keeping things really consistent. You don't want to overdo it with your motion because it could be nauseating, it could be confusing for users. So let's take a look at that prototype. So we get a nice hover, and if we click it, we get a nice click. So let's take a look. So this is great, but something messed up there. Let's go back and I'll show you. So we have a click. Now I said I didn't want to have a button here, but I made the mistake of actually making this clickable again. And that's kind of confusing. If you go back and you think about this as an interaction, it's like, what is the user supposed to do here? You can either have a button, which is fine, give the user the option to select both. But if you want to keep your flow really quick, or if you feel like this is the type of question where a user won't need to go back, even though they do have a back option, you can actually just jump right in. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete that line and we're going to create a new one. And instead of on click, we're going to do an after delay. So maybe we'll do like 400 milliseconds push. So we're going to go back. You can use your arrow keys even to navigate a prototype. So over here. So that was pretty nice. Gave me enough time to notice that I clicked something and then it brought me back. I'm going to do it again. So we can actually just increase that time a bit to like maybe 800, just so it's just enough for a user coming through this flow for the very first time to understand what just happened. And we can fine tune that to around maybe 7. And I think this is going to do it. Perfect. And that is how you make a pretty quick transition flow while also creating a hover and an active state for a customized radio button.